What's up? Welcome back to the studio. I'm SLEW. It's been quite a while since I actually just hopped on and did some vlogging. I've been like recovering my leg from it being broken. It's still working on it. And from the 2 months I was out, I kind of just went right into really big projects, heavy editing, large videos, big productions. So I feel like I haven't in like a month or more just really hopped on and said what's up and kind of did a little update, which there's not much to update. We're in the studio. I got a new microphone. Maybe you can tell the audio is a little better, maybe not. I just love everything to boost the quality, even if it's a little, even if people don't notice. This room is just filled to the brim, paintings on paintings. I actually got, a family friend actually gave me this really epic printer, which can print really high quality art prints that I think I'll certainly be doing in the near future. Also looking forward to the future, I'm doing like really limited edition stickers and pins that are really beautiful. Also for the holiday season, custom hoodies. It's all going to be based off painting projects that is way in the future. So I don't want this to be just one advertisement, but there's going to be some epic stuff. I'm very excited about it. Actually over here, this setup, epic, huge project. It was blurred out because it's a secret. I've been working on this painting project, video project for like 6 months. It's coming out very soon. But today we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna do some like really mellow drawing because it's Inktober. I haven't really ever participated in Inktober since I've had like a YouTube channel. And Inktober on YouTube, I feel like is like the best part of the art community. Everyone kind of shows up and it's very cool. So that's what I want to do today. And you could tell that it's October because I'm wearing a turtleneck. It's starting to get chilly at night. And the brick in this studio keeps in the cool, which is nice kind of sometimes in the summer, but when it gets really cold, it's really cool. But what we got right here, not this is just memory card holder. But I was digging through my house where I have a lot of old drawings and sketchbooks, and I found this bad boy. And this isn't a sketchbook. I mean, the intent of this wasn't a sketchbook, but it turned into that. This was like notes for my school, for one of my classes, to take notes. And in this, there's this sequence of like 7 pages of just beautiful drawings of these cyclopses. And it just reminded me of like, before I was doing YouTube and before I was, considered myself an artist, like during classes, even lower middle school, high school, like I would just doodle so much. In every textbook, I would be doing graffiti actually a lot, like working on letters, working on wild styles. And then it would switch to drawing faces or drawing eyeballs. I did probably a million eyeballs in my sketch or in my textbooks in school. But I'm gonna do like maybe 10, 30-minute ink sketches. I'm gonna use different pens and stuff. And so that's my plan. But in this box, which is over there, I kind of have like a drawing little bread cabinet sort of thing with all my pencils and little utensils. But this box, I've had this box since I think middle school, and also these pens. I used to be very into inking and illustrating, and I would buy pens from Japan and all this stuff. And so these aren't even that many, and they're not that special, but there's some special ones, Faber-Castell, some brush pens from Japan, and just other things, and obviously an original like ballpoint pen. These are the utensils I'm going to be using today, and hopefully I'm going to do different characters, and maybe they'll all be 10 Cyclops, but maybe they'll all be different, and using different utensils will make them different. So that's what I have no plans, and I'm just trying to have a fun, relaxing day, make this fun video to just draw a little, and who knows how it's going to be. No pressure, nothing but fun. All right, so we got a face on the front. This is an old sketchbook with a bunch of random notes from my time at Parsons. You could see sketching. But this is the first page of the sequence. This is actually not a drawing. This is just like the remnants of this lead pencil, which is pretty cool. All very kind of similar styled faces that I do in all my paintings. A couple cyclopses in here. This is the last page, so we're going to start right here. The first one, we're gonna just warm up with a standard ballpoint pen. This is actually from Mia Flores in Peru when I went. This is perfect. So we're just gonna dive right in. And off we go. What do you guys think about the no music for the whole video? I thought I'd just do no music in the editing. It's kind of more intimate. I don't know, let me know what you think. There's also nothing better than an unfocused downward time-lapse shot. This little video is slightly out of focus. you can't really tell. I can. It's kind of annoying, but we're doing just a classic SLEW Cyclops. It's my go-to character. You change the different things. It's kind of like Mr. Potato Head. Simple ballpoint pen, really stocky neck. I really dug this character. Kind of sexy, kind of nice. But that's what we did for the first one. These are super fast. They're about 40-second time lapses, but I love a ballpoint pen. You know, it's quite easy. You get thick and thin lines and bold strokes. You can see that little arrow on the top right kind of showing you where the light's coming. On to the next one. And the next one, we're using this brush pen. And this brush pen is a little tricky. This was certainly not my favorite sketch, and I was trying to be kind of abstract with the big, bold shapes. And brush pens are really fun. You could do a lot with them, but I wasn't really familiar. Not the best control. So, you know, we just did the same lighting as this one to the left, the Cyclops, but you know, not my favorite design, but this pen is very weird. I'll show you right now why. This was kind of hard. This is like not a normal brush pen. It's hard to see, but it's like a really plasticky nub. And it just doesn't work like a normal, you would think like a normal brush pen or like a paintbrush, but there she is. But that's okay. And we're back to drawing another thing. I'm using like a gel pen ballpoint. It's kind of nice to do fine line, and I go into some other stuff and get weird with some other markers, but again, I just wanted to do some nice, you know, character design with some cross-hatching. Cross-hatching's so fun, and like I used to be so into inking, and I haven't done it in so long, and not that these are any impressive or I'm spending some crazy amount of time drawing these, but just getting some cross-hatching in different directions to show some value, just little details. I love the texture of cross-hatching, and it's very satisfying with the bold, even if it is a thin line, a bold thin line. It's quite fun and quite enjoyable. And yeah, I don't know what this is, an old grumpy man, maybe middle-aged man. I kind of like the straight brow line to, you know, kind of show that he's angry or frustrated. It's pretty fun. And yeah, just using some cross-hatching, very messy, very quick, very spontaneous stuff, improvised, super fun. And this next one I'm using the same sort of lined pen, except it's extremely thin. This is a 0.5 millimeter, and you know we're doing a classic skull. I could not have done a skull during this little session, but I wanted to make it different. I do so many skulls, but I wanted to make the stylized. I don't end up finishing the jaw. It's kind of just hanging there. But again, I'm going with the cross-hatching. You can see how thin these lines are. It's so thin. It's very beautiful. But just a generic straight-on shot of the skull, trying to get some depth in there. Obviously, the eyes. And then actually I switch right there to a medium. In these pens, they are kind of measured by line weight. This is like a medium, but I think it's like a 3, where the thinner line was a 0.5. So if anyone's curious about that. But I really like the skull. It almost looks like a monkey skull with human teeth or something. You know, very Cro-Magnus styled skull with a jaw that's kind of just not there. But I enjoyed this. More cross-hatching. I just think the style is beautiful. It looks very cool. And these next drawings, I get really weird. Start off with a ballpoint, just a simple ballpoint. And I'm using reference. I'm on the internet just searching up goblin. I saw this goblin that I'm using as reference. I'm not trying to copy it exactly. I'm just trying to use it as some framework. And then I'm using these delicious, I don't know what you call them. They're brush pens, but they're just like markers of transparent value. So you see it's not a super dark line. You see in the top left, they're just kind of like tones. And I went in with like a brush pen to get those thick, bold outlines. And I'm using another different sort of brush pen. This is a wacky drawing that I'm having an absolute blast with. But you can see the cool textures, a lot of depth with the brush pens. The top left, you can see those different values. They're very transparent. Some alcohol marker with the blue ballpoint pen has some accents. And I'm going to do that same thing, a little different, but I had so much fun with that. I was like, oh, I got to use pen and brush work on another one. So we went with a pear-shaped, awesome Cyclops. I love the silhouette, the framework of this Cyclops. I thought it came out great. I probably could have switched it up with not as much cross-hatching, but, you know, it's just so fun. I can't help myself just listening to podcasts, relaxing, having an absolute blast. Wanted to bring the blue marker in because I like that kind of color shift, darken up some of the values, and that's really it. And you know, going overboard, just having fun. This was all very improvised, just very fun. I don't draw like this a lot anymore, so it's certainly just a nice break for me, switching things up. Hopefully you enjoyed. We're going to talk about a few more things in the studio. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, I guess. You know, maybe I was a little ambitious saying to do 10 drawings. I did 6 drawings. They each were like 30 minutes, but just really mellow sketching. You know, just having an absolute blast. Getting weird. You can see it bled through the paper a little, which is fine, but I was expecting that with the marker. But you know, just really fun sketches, letting loose, using these different materials. I don't use inking pens very much at all anymore, but it's really fun. I might do some bigger scale illustrations, digital inking, very comic book style on tabloids. It's so fun. There's so many amazing artists on YouTube doing Inktober, doing Arttober, whatever it's called. Check them out. I got this sexy camera right here, and a lot of people ask, shifting gears really quickly, a lot of people ask about filming and lighting, and this is like my cinema camera. I'm using a Panasonic GH5 to film right now, and this is the kind of camera I vlog with, and it's time-lapse. This is like when I use my external microphone and I'm doing these stagnant shots, but also just for, you know, really cinematic stuff. This shoots 4K in RAW, Blackmagic RAW. It's really amazing color correction. Just a bunch of awesome things that make this camera awesome. And actually, I'm gonna take you around the studio real quick because I've been working on this video that I'm calling kind of like a virtual gallery. You could see just paintings upon paintings. I said that before, but there's like 40 canvases in the studio, that are just out and about, and I haven't done anything with them, but I'm gonna put them all up for sale on my website, and that entails me taking a lot of photos of them. And instead of just taking photos, which I'm gonna do on this backdrop, I'm also gonna be doing this really creative, awesome video I'm super excited about called like SLEW's digital or SLEW's virtual gallery. And so that will be coming out in like a week or so, really documenting all of the paintings I've done in the last 2-3 years in the studio. It's going to be very cinematic, very different, but I'm really excited about it. So that's all I got. I'm going to sign off saying that in this room. We don't film in this room too much. It's a beautiful room. There's the entrance right there to the studio. But that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe, stay tuned. Check out my Patreon. I paint live every Sunday for my patrons. There's a private Discord where we all chat and share art and ideas and whatnot. So check that out. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.